Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey.
No glasses day, Mo.
No,
Okay.
no, I had to clean them real quick. I'm gonna put them
Oh,
on because I
all
now my
right.
eyes look even lower with them off.
Ah.
People probably think, oh, she's not awake. Oh, I'm totally awake. They had me going today on the group page like I'm in the Senate confirmation hearing. Let me put my glasses back on. Jeez.
Be official. Be real official right now.
Yes, they had me going like I was in a Senate confirmation hearing. Okay, let's
They're
go.
like, listen,
Let's go. I
listen.
can handle my own. I'm good. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday, West Coast Wednesday. We appreciate you guys. Welcome to the show. Mo and
Yes.
Mel, Girl Chat Sports. We are here. And yeah, I've had a busy day, so I'm trying to get my head. We're gonna definitely get to this Lia Thomas discussion. I went down a Lia Thomas like black hole, so I feel like I was entangled in all of this reading, and
Mm-hmm.
along with work and then trying to prep for the podcast. So I'm just trying to get my bearings right now. But we hope
Yeah.
everybody's had a good week so far. It is starting to heat up. If you hear any kind of buzzing in the background, I actually have a fan directed at me because I refuse to put my air conditioning on yet. Like I'm not ready for that. It is on upstairs, but downstairs it's not. And I don't think there's a vent in this room either.
Oh,
So
that sucks. Yeah, I got ceiling fan action right now. We're not ready for the AC just yet.
yeah, no, that's how I
Yeah.
feel. Yeah, it's like that. So we want
Yeah.
to welcome everybody to the show. If you're watching, please share. You can share it on Facebook, Twitter, as well as our YouTube. Please subscribe at Girl Chat Sports. I did want to start off real quick, and I didn't blow this up to fill out the whole screen, but I did want to make sure we were reached out by a family member here for Tyrone Moore, aka Ty. He was living in Las Vegas for the last year or two. This young man who is 30, he has two young children, two young boys. He was hit and killed in a hit and run off of the SR 163, which is that road down to Laughlin that goes
Right.
through Laughlin. And there has still been no information in regards to the car that hit him. When he was found, he was already deceased. They reported that he most likely was walking down Laughlin down 163, which seems odd because
Yeah.
I guess apparently Ty didn't drive or own a car.
Right.
So family are wondering why he was out there and why he was walking. A lot of questions. If anybody has any information, please email justicefortyty@yahoo.com. There is also, we posted it to our Instagram and to our Facebook. You're welcome to share it. Use the hashtag Justice for Ty Ty. And please contact them if you have any information as to who he was hanging out with or what he was up
Yeah,
to, or
because
if
he
you've
lived here
seen
for like
him
over a year and some change, right? Like a couple years he's been
over a
here.
couple. He's from Seaside,
Yeah.
California. Apparently his family said that he was a very friendly guy. If you had met him, you probably remember meeting him because he was a great person. So
Mm,
we don't know the background of what was going on, but we just really hope that there's more information because
yeah.
unfortunately there's not a lot being done here in Las Vegas for him. So
Yeah.
we definitely appreciate any of that. Anyways, yeah,
Oh, shout out to
back
the
to
people that actually shared from my story, shared
yes,
from our page. I
yes.
appreciate that because that was a good look. So
Yes. And
keep
for
doing
those that
that.
were tagging the news outlets, because
Yeah.
somebody
I
needs to
checked the
figure
news.
out
Yeah.
what's
We have to figure
happening.
out what's going on. What happened. Yeah.
We definitely do.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah. And I think, oh, here we go. The family member was chatting in so that everything that we said is
Yes.
accurate. So
Yeah.
good, good, good. Again, if there's anything that you have to information, please reach out that's FOR tyty@yahoo.com. All right. Today is also National Puppy
It
Day.
is
And
puppies.
although I know you guys are sick of seeing me and my dogs on personal Facebook and Instagrams and everything else, I don't have pictures of mine ready to go because you guys know Tilly and Shug, like they're household names at this point.
Shout out to the
But
pet
we did want to
mom.
share some of our fellow athletes and their animals who they've shared today. So you've got Justin Fields and his dog Una, which I thought was
Uno's cute.
adorable. Patrick Mahomes and Steele.
Yes.
And of course, Juju, who's repping
with his French bulldog with Bougie.
Yes, Bougie. And Bougie's also on his shirt, of
Yeah.
course, because he's Bougie.
Yes.
So...
Shout out to Bougie. Bougie number 1 and Bougie number 2.
Right. And then you've also, of course, got Las Vegas Raiders own Max Crosby and his 2 dogs that are decked out in his jerseys, because what other jersey would they be wearing?
Right.
And then Christian McCaffrey with the gun show is with Oliver Sprinkles.
Yeah, Oliver Sprinkles. What a cute name.
Isn't that cute? I was like, okay, Oliver Sprinkles. Little mini golden doodle or something there.
Yes.
I know. That was so cute.
Oliver Sprinkles, babe.
Oliver's getting it in.
Yes. Oliver's dad. Jeez, those arms.
Look at Oliver's dad can come to Seattle, but
we would love that. But is he staying in Pantherland? We've got so many different trades going on and acquisitions.
Yes,
you never know, right?
Yes, most definitely. Yeah. And then before we get into some hot topics, of course, it wouldn't be another week without some Jugadores Locos.
Oh yeah,
because they're out here in effect. And I kind of want to entitle this one the Fighter Edition. It just seems as though we all know that MMA fighters are a little quick-tempered, hot-tempered. And all 3 of these guys are from or reigned from MMA and UFC. So the first one is the retired UFC fighter and current MMA analysis. Is it Shale Sonnen? So he's got charged with 11 counts of battery. So this happened back in December. They had an original case of 5 charges that was dismissed back in January, but they just dismissed it with prejudice, so they were able to refile. Well, they did. This guy apparently attacked 6 people, including 1 woman, at the Luxor Hotel back in December. He apparently hit, kicked, punched, and choked all 6 of these people. It's reported that maybe that there was a man that harassed his wife on the casino floor, which definitely is not okay, but does it mean it's grounds for releasing the beast? So
Did
now
he lose money at the table? Was he on the table when his wife was getting harassed? He probably let thousands off the table and went crazy. Not to excuse it. I'm just saying, like, what warrants to go ape like that?
And a woman too. So, I mean, not to say that women don't. There's once in a while where sometimes I've seen a couple women step over the line sometimes. But what are you doing that you got to then put hands on 6 different individuals? Yeah, that's a.
And you were at the Luxor too. No telling.
The Luxor.
What were you doing there?
I don't know.
Now just so the Luxor, but I'm just saying.
And then there was some big news, of course. We all saw them in UFC 272, where we saw Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. Of course, Covington won that in unanimous decision. Well, apparently, Colby Covington was hanging out with, I forgot his name, one of the guys from Barstool. The guy from Barstool, El Presidente. And they're all tagging and doing videos and Instagrams and snaps and Twitters or whatever, and putting down locations. Next thing you know, Jorge shows up and busts Kobe in the mouth because he broke one of his teeth and did something to his wrist. So there's some allegations and charges pending for Masvidal. Apparently he had yelled out, "You shouldn't have been talking about my kids," but come on, really? How old are we that we're now stalking our opponents or our ex-best friends and finding them on the streets of Miami?
I mean, people are fighting over their kids these days.
I get that.
Kids is a real sensitive subject. Like, I'm not excusing it either on that end. But
I mean, I get it.
There seems to be a
and
trend
we know
that everybody's fighting and acting crazy.
And we know Colby definitely pushes that line when he talks, because he has this persona now that he's developed and become like almost like a wrestling persona he has now. Like he's got this theme. But yeah, so there's another one. And then of course, as of today or on Tuesday, Conor McGregor was arrested in Dublin. He apparently had a little road traffic violation. I don't know what it was. He wasn't held. He was arrested for a period of time, released. But I mean,
he was going mighty fast in the Bentley GT coupe.
Mighty fast.
He was hitting those corners, hitting corners.
It's up Donnell, yeah. Jorge, he's upset, but I mean, here, if someone were talking about your kids, I'm sure you'd want to pull up at some point too, whether they were
They don't even know your kids. Like, come on, stop it. But people,
but these people,
everybody is fighting over their kids these days. I mean, and social media just happens to capture it all. I mean, the kids thing is one of those subjects you don't touch, especially when it comes to athletes, entertainers, and stuff. You can diss me all day, but don't, when it comes to the kids, don't involve the children because they're innocent. They're innocent pawns in this situation. So maybe that's how you felt, and that's what I'm saying. It's just trending now that the kids is a sensitive subject.
Yeah. It's always something. There's always somebody out there doing something. There will never be a reason to not discuss Jugadores Locos. Because
no, and we didn't talk about Big Baby and his Jugadores Locos.
Oh, you got to talk.
Not to mention, you moved down to somebody's seat and got blasted for that. But then you are not even supposed to be at a game out on your bail for your whole Jugadores Loco scam and PPO thing.
He wasn't even supposed to be in that state.
He wasn't supposed to be in that state, sir. Like, you're tripping. Like, you're on a probationary period. You're lucky to even be out. And not only do you sit in somebody else's seats because you don't like your nosebleed seats, which we're guilty of moving down. But
I've been there. I don't go to the front row because usually that's
all, you should know that people probably just went to
well,
the
I'm not famous,
and
you're not going to notice me as you would him per se. You know what I mean?
But the thing of it is anybody in the front row is not gone. They're gone to the bathroom, or they're gone somewhere else. They're gone to concessions. They got to talk to a friend. You know good and well, if it ain't the fourth quarter, you watch that seat for a good 20 to 30 minutes. Move down then. You're moving down early. Like, yo, I just got here. You're in my seats, Big Baby. I love you, but you're in my seats. Get up.
I don't know. And then you're messing on your probation too, like
violating all kinds of probation. There's cameras around, and you're Big Baby Davis. You're recognizable. You're a former Celtic, and you're going to one of their games. If you were
as if anything else was happening,
or if you were at a Lights game or anywhere else that localized, it probably would have not got you so tough. But you went to your own home team's game to support. You can support from your TV, sir.
Listen, speaking about the Las Vegas Lights, though, is that what you mentioned, or you said
the Lights? You could have got the Lights.
The Lights. So this Saturday, if you're going to, so last Saturday they had a game. Of course, we talked about it and they won.
Yeah,
first game at home. Yes. So this Saturday's game at home, if your name is Elvis or you're dressed like Elvis, you get free entry to the match. There's going to be a lot of Elvises in the building.
That's cute. That's really cute.
I loved it.
They come up with these nifty promotions, and I have to call them nifty because that's the only adjective I can describe.
They're wild. Like, there's somebody with a great imagination on their PR, team that's coming up with these ideas.
Right.
It's
Viva Las
good.
Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Yes. All right. So some hot topics. We want to start off with, so New York City, the mayor is expected to lift the private sector vaccine mandate, specifically for performers and athletes tomorrow. If that does happen, then Kyrie is free to play at home, as well as the Yankees and Mets that are unvaxxed are able to be eligible to play at home games.
Good.
Now, it's more like, will it for sure happen? I know they were talking to Steve Nash, and he's like, listen, we've heard this before. We've heard that things were going to happen, but I don't believe it until Kyrie has a ball in his hand on court. So I don't know.
I hope it happens. This is crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
It would. It's kind of ridiculous that it's gone on this long, especially when you're letting fans in and they're unvaxxed. But hopefully it happens, because it would be nice to see Kyrie be with the team at home, especially with playoffs coming for them.
Yeah, they need him.
Yeah. So last week we talked a lot about Brittany Griner a little bit. So she's still in Russia. She's been there detained since February 17th. No one had really heard from her or talked to her. News came out today that U.S. officials had met with Brittany Griner today for the first time. Mind you, it's now March 22nd, 23rd?
23rd.
Yeah. And she's been detained for over a month, and this is their first time seeing her. Apparently she's doing well as can be expected, I guess, for being there, and that they're going to continue to work closely with her legal team and her network. So we obviously keep her in our prayers and ensure that, she gets through this all right. Of course, she's supposed to be detained until May something, but it looks like they're going to try to work on getting her out sooner, but if that happens, I don't know. And what does that mean for her WNBA season? And
right.
so many
A lot of
questions.
questions. Yeah.
So many questions.
Yeah.
All right.
Free Brittany, man. Free her. Get her out of there.
Free Brittany, please.
She said she's in good spirits or good shape. Yeah.
I mean, that has to be something on your mental health, even. Like, I mean, just being stuck in. Remember how people were cramming just how to stay in their house during pandemic? Imagine being stuck in a cell in a
Russia.
different country. Who knows what it's like in there? And my mental health would be completely out of whack.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get on to our next hot topic and final before. Let's discuss the case of Miss Lia Thomas, sorry. So we all know Lia. I'm sure we've seen her picture throughout many avenues of social media in regards to being a transgender woman. She actually on Thursday had competed in the 500-yard free swim and was the first transgender athlete to win the NCAA Division I championship for the 500 free. There's been a lot of topics, discussions, pros and cons, people outraged, supporters, a little bit of everything. I did find a few videos that I wanted to share with people so that they can be more engaged and hope maybe hear something that they haven't heard before. But I wanted to start off. There's the first transgender athlete is Schuyler Bailar, I believe it is. He was a D1 NCAA men's athlete in swimming. He was the very first transgender D1 men's NCAA D1 men's athlete. He has an Instagram and he discusses a lot of topics for transgender athletes as well as transgender people, period. And there's a discussion that he had with a lady she had posted it on her social media. And here's where we'll start.
Assuming they are jumping out of the gym, they are stronger than all of us, they are faster than all of us. Could you please share with me or anyone who's feeling this way why it would be okay for a transgender woman to join the USC volleyball team per se?
Cannot. You said jumping out of the gym, stronger, better, faster, whatever. You cannot just say I'm a woman and waltz onto a women's team. You have to be on hormone suppressants for 1 documented year. And what do these do? They make you feel like shit because they bring your hormone levels down. They suppress your testosterone. And I know many trans women have gone through that. It's not a fun process, especially as a young athlete. It's like doing the opposite of getting better. We'll have this idea that everybody's actually, your language was great for this purpose, that they're just going to decide they're a woman and jump onto the women's team. They can't do that.
I'm so sorry.
No. It's good that we're talking about this because other people think like this, right? So you can't just, first of all, it's not a decision. And second of all, nobody's going to do that. Third of all, people are like, oh, but men are going to do that so they can win women's sports. And do they know anything about toxic masculinity? Like no man is going to think.
We need the rest of that. But there are some.
So, person speaking was formerly a woman who is now a transgendered male who competes in men's sports.
Who did compete in men's swimming, and apparently no man in the world noticed that.
And had an issue with that. Okay, continue.
Yeah, of course, because
I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, of course, because men are biologically just better than women at everything. So that's kind of what the male derivative is. That granted, we know men's bodies, men's hormones, they are stronger. They are usually taller and leaner and have more muscle mass. Understood. Right. But we're in 2020 now, and some things have changed. What people maybe also don't realize that this NCAA policy for transgender athletes was developed in 2010. Where were all you guys that can't stand this back in 2010? Is it just because Lia Thomas won something on Thursday versus other times when she wasn't? She's been competing. It wasn't like she just started competing and won this national championship because
she's actually come in last place on a few of the events with women in her in competition. This is like her first win for anything.
There is.
In the women's competition. Yeah.
And
actually people said she probably threw the match, but she didn't throw the match, right?
So on Saturday, there was a 100-meter national championship that also occurred there in Atlanta. Not only was she was one of 2 transgender athletes. There's a transgender man, Isaac Hennig,
Yeah.
So he was a female to male transition. He's removed his breasts and he's had those taken out. He hasn't started hormones yet, because what technically keeps you from entering, or I guess for a woman to man transgender from entering men's, is that you have to be on the hormones for over a year. He hasn't started hormones as he wanted to continue on and finish his season with Yale, where he was swimming. So he actually took part in the race with Lia Thomas. I don't know why I keep saying Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Thompson. So with Lia Thomas on Saturday, both of them did not win. Lia actually came in 8th place, 8th of 8. Isaac tied for 5th, and there was a woman who won, or a cisgender woman who won 1st place in that meet. So, I mean, there's so many. I just, what I find is that I know that there's some women athletes out there that I'm not favorable of it. And I know, I can understand their points too. I would more so love to hear the people that are against this from female athletes, because they're the ones that are having to go against transgender women. So their opinions would be something that I would take into consideration more than a homosexual cisgender man who just doesn't feel that it's right or that it's nice.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too, but I'm also more curious about which 300 swimmers signed that petition in order for
over 300
that are in the collegiate swimming arena
in support
of
Lia Thomas in doing it. So
right.
Members of Team USA, the Olympic swimmers, collegiate swimmers, all signed this in support and being an ally of her and the transgender and non-binary swimmers. Our world is evolving and things are changing. And I think some people aren't able to put their mind around it per se. I guess my other issue is, whatever your reason is for not feeling this is appropriate, whether it be religious, whether it be personal, whether it be some experience you may have had, I don't know. But what is your personal opinion and continuous outcry to make a point of things have to do with what she's doing? Is it affecting your life personally? Is it affecting your child's life personally? Like we saw a video of like a parents that I think their daughter from Virginia Tech, she placed 17th, and they were upset because with one transgender person placing above her, her spot for her to go to nationals was taken away. I can understand your take on that side, being a parent, your daughter missing out by one spot. At the same time, as had it been either woman or any other swimmer, your daughter was 17th out of how many. So there's so many avenues to this.
It really is. I mean, a lot of people are arguing that it's not fair and that kind of thing, and trying to hone the message of fair. But I'm just wondering, what's fair play? One, we are a sports-driven community and a sports-related, where there are men's sports where people have doped up and enhanced and performance enhanced and still continue to performance enhance, and they're still playing in an all-men's league as males, cis males, and are still competing at a high level on certain degrees, and no one's saying anything on the edge of that. Same on the women's side. No one's saying anything on the edge of that. So I just don't understand the fairness part of it, when this whole sports thing has always had some kind of technicalities to it and different rulings. They've accused women of steroid use. They accused Serena of steroid use because she had a competitive edge. Like, come on. Like, so what are we fighting for here? What are we really necessarily fighting for here? And the thing of it is I had stated and maintained the statements that I've made on the group. And I normally don't engage with the group too much. If you know me, I keep a very low profile of expressing myself and writing. One, I don't have the time. Nor two, I don't have the energy for it. Number three, it's just not that pertinent to me. I guess I'm not that passionate about the subject matter at hand, but I am passionate about people's rights.
Right.
And I think that's where I step in on certain things, because there's just a lot of stuff going on in this world today. And when women athletes were sexually abused, raped, paid this discrimination.
No one cared then.
No one said a word. No one said a word. And I'm just confused now how all of a sudden Lia Thomas comes into play and she is the subject of all major cries.
I mean, we're seeing like thousands of posts about her.
10-year anniversary, 10 years from the time NCAA passes ruling. If you really have an issue, take the issue with NCAA.
Technically 12 years.
12 years. Oh, yeah, because it's 2022. I'm sorry. 12 years. Yeah. Take the issue with them. And another thing, I feel like your research needs to be a little bit more valid instead of sound bites, clips, even though we paid like a little portion of something from someone that is trans that spoke of experience competing in a men's league when they were biologically born a woman, but now are male.
So I do want to play another video from him, because he actually addresses some of those those facts, those fake news facts, we've seen all over social media. So if you are watching, look at these. I'm sure you've seen some of these facts that have been posted all over your social media, and so it's good to know the actual real truth behind those as well.
People who say that Lia Thomas is dominating or destroying women's sports are lying to you. 27 records were broken at NCAA championships. Lia did not break a single one. And this isn't to prove that trans women can't be great athletes or win or even dominate. It is to prove that people are lying to you in order to turn you against trans women athletes. Although Lia's 500 freestyle was amazing, her time of 4:33.24 was not even top 50 of all-time fastest swims. Lia's time would not have won in this meet for 6 out of the 9 years prior. And in some of those years, Lia's time wouldn't have even gotten second. If Lia's competitor Brooke 40, who got 4th, went her best time of 4:31, Brooke would have beat Lia by nearly 2 seconds. Lia also got 5th in the 200 free and 8th in the 100 free. These facts are important not because Lia didn't accomplish something amazing. She absolutely did. They're important because they prove that you're being lied to. Lia performed very well, but she is not dominating competition or even shattering records like so many are falsely claiming. The domination narrative is trying to trick you into thinking that including Lia is unfair. The only thing that is unfair is how horribly Lia is being treated. Hey, stop scrolling. You are being lied to about trans athletes like Lia Thomas. You've probably seen the 462 to first ranking floating around somewhere. People are trying to manipulate you into thinking that she sucked beforehand on the men's team and now she's winning everything on the women's team. They're even saying that she wasn't a standout athlete before. And this is an outright lie. Lia's top rankings in her best events before she transitioned were 11th, 12th, and 38th in the entire country. Lia was absolutely a standout athlete before she transitioned. And even if she only came from 462nd and there were no other rankings beforehand, it's not unusual for an elite athlete to go from the hundreds to first place in the span of a couple years. Katie Ledecky, 230th to first in 2 years. Missy Franklin from 800 something to first in 4 years. When cis women get good, people say, wow. No one says them winning is then unfair. They're just great athletes. Lia is too.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh. So Ledecky, yeah. So she went from 200 to first in 2 years. Okay. So it's not impossible for people to jump rankings. And just when I saw that, I was just like, oh, because I can't, you know me, I'm not a stat person. I'm never going to research stats up till I die. Like, it's just not me.
But I think we should. I think you have to, especially when it comes to an argument like this. You have to look at the stats and the
well, for sure. And that's why seeing that video being brought to my attention, like you're seeing what those stats are. I read into the NCAA policies. Things actually started back in like 2005 or readjusted in 2010. They redid it again in 2017. They started again in 2022 with some new, with a new policy that basically is a rollout in 3 different steps. They have something for right now. They have something for the season of 22-23 and the season of 23 to 24. What they don't understand is that this is not going away. And although there are states that, of course, are making laws against transgender in athletics in different states, like Florida and some others, I think Arizona has one too. There was a story about a 10-year-old who was transgender, and there was a possible law that would be get into place, and the family wants to move if that's the case, because you know, you can believe in what you believe, but transgender feel that they're stuck in a different body than what they should be, you know. And for some of these athletes, even there was a person who had a really good article I want to say it was in Newsweek.
Yeah, it was Newsweek. You sent it to me. It was excellent because it was also
Erica Sullivan. She was the
yeah.
silver medalist in Tokyo. She's gay. And
Mhm.
she talked about how it was hard enough for her to be gay in
Right.
swimming as a cis, even
I
to
remember when
be
that
gay.
was an issue. I remember when that was controversy.
And so for her to be able to come out and not have to deal with the pressures or the hiding or the insecurities of what she was in, now she's able to swim at her best because she's who she is, and she can be able to be that on all platforms. So she used her platform to discuss the Lia Thomas stuff. And she said, as this is what she said in quotes, as a woman in sports, I can tell you that I know what the real threat to women's sports are: sexual abuse and harassment, unequal pay and resources, and lack of women in leadership. Transgender girls and women are nowhere on this list. Women's sports are stronger when all women, including trans women, are protected from discrimination and free to be their true selves.
Yeah. You know, I had said that I mind the business that pays me, you know, because it isn't the business that I'm in. Business I'm in is retail. That's what gives me a check. That's what keeps my livelihood. That's what keeps a roof over my head and pays my utilities and everything else. To me, and I'm not trying to diminish that the subject matter is not important, because it is an important awareness to educate folks. But her winning was none of my business that I could care. I was like, oh, yay, great. And I moved on about my day. I don't have the time nor the energy to dwell in something like that when me as a Black woman and a woman have other battles to fight within myself. I have to mind the business that is affecting me. That is not necessarily affecting me. However, it seems to affect some members out there royally. And I don't
a lot more men than women, I think, too.
Yes. And I feel like it's not so much that, because I said I'm not threatened by it, I'm not anything, and one person, shout out to Bill Logan, I'm gonna put him on blast, but I knew where Bill was coming from. He comes with all caps, and I know it's not emotional. That's just how he types.
That's just
He's
how
like,
he
I'm
types.
not saying I'm threatened by it. I'm like, I didn't ever say you were, bro. I'm not saying you're not. I say I'm not threatened by it. This does not affect me in any shape or form. All I can do is, for my mentals, is live in my space and my truth, effectively make sure I make it out the door every day and succeed at what I do. And anybody else's success is great for them. I'm worried on the business at hand of my success. I will salute anybody that gets successful and praise and wins and anything like that. It does not matter to me in the scope of this. It really does not.
It doesn't do anything.
Beat her. I physically cannot beat her, and I know how to swim. I'm not a competitive swimmer. I cannot beat this woman. I can't beat any male. I can't do any of these diving competitions. Can you guys? I feel like you're coming at it like you can beat them.
Of course.
If you can, I would love to see you at the YMCA doing your strokes, beating that time, going fast.
Just so they can take on the ladies of the WNBA too. They can take them all on.
I personally cannot beat them. This is a competition realm that ain't none of my. I know nothing about this. I know nothing. I'm not equipped to even have this physicality or the skills to beat this woman in her competition, as well as any of the other collegiate swimmers, as well as any other Olympic swimmers. I don't. I feel
and
like
the U.S. Olympic swimmers actually have even more stringent rules too, as well. Like they have to be on the testosterone replacement for 3 years, and they have to, you know,
they do. They have to be on testosterone for 3 years. They have to take the meds the first year. They have to be on testosterone for 3 years. Again, she's coming from last place to actually winning something, and it's an uproar. So if they lose every time, it's like, oh, she should be winning because wasn't she a guy? Guys should be able to beat girls. That's bullcrap, right? And if her hormones have suppressed any type of testosterone, technically she is no longer in that male genetic.
It's under 10 nano or what I don't know the
she's no longer considered a male, in my opinion, if that's science.
The testosterone level, which is crazy. I mean, I don't. Where do people find the time? I mean, I was already busy enough.
People joke about James Chappelle saying if LeBron James were to go over there. Hello, first of all, if LeBron James goes over there. If LeBron James goes over there, he will no longer be LeBron James. He'll be Brittany Griner because he's going to suppress all his hormones of testosterone and turn into Brittany Griner. Now, no one's ever said a darn thing about Brittany playing at the level that she plays and questioned what's going. She's totally cis female. Never said anything about her athleticism.
Well, she has done some I guess she has done some surgeries, a surgery.
She hasn't had
So-
top yet, though. The only
Huh?
athlete in WNBA that's had top is that other lady that did the art.
No, it's Brittany. Brittany had it.
No, I Googled her. She has not had top surgery. That is her. That is all her.
Wow.
You can do chest presses until your chest gets flat. Whatever.
No,
you do.
but yeah.
She did not have top surgery. The only one is the other one that has had it. What's
I
that
thought
lady?
she did.
No, look it
I
up.
don't know.
It's the one chick
I
that
will.
had the with the.
We'll
Mohawk
side
and
note
stuff.
this bar
Yeah,
for
side
later.
note
We'll
that,
post
'cause
an
you had
article.
mentioned that before, but she's not one of them that's ever had top surgery. There are women that are
okay.
naturally born with small chests, and there are women that are naturally
Sure.
born with
Sure.
big ones. Again, it does not define your femininity of who you are as a woman. Okay. And looking at the scope of this whole thing, I did not want to give this type of energy. I don't feel like I need to express this to a mature audience that should be able to understand stuff.
But we're
You know,
giving
they
it to
come-
our audience, and some
Hey,
of those
listen.
maybe don't have that voice. So we want to be able to help those give that voice.
I don't know. I'm just saying, it's Claridon. Thank you, Miss Bondi. Shout out to Miss Bondi.
Thanks, Miss
It's Claridon.
Bondi.
She is the only one that
No
has
place
had top
off.
surgery that has done her
Okay.
top surgery.
Got you.
Brittany
Okay.
Griner is born the way she was. Deep voice and all. Weezy Jefferson had a deep voice too. B. Arthur had a deep voice too. Let me just tell you something. It happens. This is not, you know what I mean?
Well, and you can be
Get
born
it
a
out,
female and have high testosterone.
testosterone. You can.
I had high testosterone. I don't know. I haven't tested my testosterone levels lately. When I was a kid, I had high testosterone, which caused me to like have more breakouts and whatever else. And my doctors had to put me like on a medication at an early age because it was just like a lot, you know.
Some
and
of
so
us women
people
grow mustaches. Does that mess with it?
and have beards and stuff.
Beards, yeah. I just saying, you know, genetics and science is crazy. It's a great thing, and if you're not inept to it or educated enough to speak on certain things, you probably want to do a little bit of more research instead of castigating folks, having these strong opinions that are not based behind facts and more ignorance. That's where I kind of get like, okay, you're just saying some stupid stuff right now.
Like if you got a personal opinion, just keep it to that, but don't constantly harp on this.
Well, they're harping on it because they want to prove a point, and I get that. That's what men do. They want to prove a point. They want to drive it home. I'm just trying to be right in this situation. I'll let you be right. I'll let you have it. You're right. Hey, I'm a very secure woman. I will
listen.
I don't have a problem.
I don't care.
I do not care. It is, like I said, it is not the energy that I am focused on as myself and my own being. I have my own struggles, my own things for my own culture and everything else as being a woman to defend. And this is just not one of them battles that I have to really get into it with someone. I just wanted to say that when things are just, people are treated wrongly is where I step in. When people are judged, that's when I step in. You yourself have been judged. I have been judged. Judgment is not good for anybody. And in this current climate with the war going on and we got all this other crazy nefarious stuff going on, I just think
there's other battles that
it's
your energy could be put forth to.
Like I said, I
it's
felt
just
like I was in a Senate confirmation hearing today, going back and forth. I said, this is why I can't engage on the Facebook thing because, first of all, my fingers are getting hurt because I'm arthritic. Like I don't have time for this. Like
got them Twitter fingers today.
Yeah, this is not the battle I'm trying to convey. I'm just pointing out my opinion on that factors. You know, the decision is up to you. You live your own one life. Thank you, Kente. You know,
yes.
Regardless of what it is, what does it have to absolutely do to you and your children growing up saying, well, I have a son or daughter that's in sports. Your son or daughter could end up being a best friend to a transgender person. Your best friend, their best friend could end up being a gay or lesbian person or queer person. This is the space that we are in. This is the time that we are in. You don't know who is going to influence your children's life. They may influence you not to do those things because that's not who they are, but they probably will influence them to be good people, loving people, accepting people, and supportive people. And that's all that it matters. Jesus.
It's just too much because I feel like, you know, we always talk about racism starts in the home. You're not learning to be racist unless it's from somebody within your home, right? So, and that's a decision that you can't choose what color you are. You can't choose what ethnicity you are.
Right.
And in the LGBTQ community, gay, lesbian, transgender, it's not a choice. They don't say, hey, you know what? I want to wake up today and choose to be a different person or a different sex because I want to get all this hate.
I want to go through all this trauma and bullying and almost dearly.
Yeah, let me do that. I would love to do that.
I want to do all of those things of getting snickered, sneered, booed, hissed, heard upon, beat upon, bullied
And that's
on,
what Leah
threatened
also
death
got
on.
outside of
I wanna go
Atlanta
through
with those
all of that
protests.
just so I can have a better advantage to win
No,
a competition.
that's
Okay.
not it. But guess what? Now that you're teaching this in your home, guess what your kids are going to end up doing? Being those same people.
Yeah.
And if you got grandkids and your grandkids in your home, and this is the same kind of aspect you're putting on in your household or with your friends and family, and your kids are picking up, but they're just going to relay this message as they get older too.
Yeah, we spent too much time on it. I'm done. Both of us.
So this
Shout
is
out to
my
Heather
new
Reddy
t-shirt.
on the thing about
we
What do you
rise
wear?
by lifting each other.
Yeah, and that's
See?
what you got to do. I mean,
That's all
the
it
space
is.
has nothing to
If you
do
don't got
with
nothing to say, nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
The
Like, just leave
space
it
has
alone.
nothing to do with you. At the end of the day, that space has nothing to do with you. What does it have to do with you? Nothing. That space has nothing to do with you. Leave them alone.
Yeah,
And
like
I'm
I
saying
said.
them.
Mhm.
And, at a corporate standpoint, we are in a space and time now, even at my job, if I'm introduced or I have to introduce myself, the term is, hi, I'm Mo. I go by she, I go by her. We are in this space now where there is gender names and binary, non-binary, all of that. We are in a different time and people have to just get on deck because that's what it is. You either go forward with it and keep pushing or you fall behind. And just be like,
Right.
whatever, but
Right.
I'm just done. It's so stupid
And Heather
crazy.
mentioned the argument that she hates most: if she can't have babies, then she's not a woman. Ignorance is always bliss, because there's a lot of women out there that can't have babies.
Yeah, so
who
that makes them
definitely
less
aren't
of a
men.
woman, and men have dictated that. It's all this toxic masculinity of dictation of how women should be, how women should look, how women should feel, the gaslighting, the this, the that, stop it.
Mm-hmm. Kente says everybody should really just love one each other regardless of our statue. That's why I love sports. It brings everybody together, negative or positive. Well, it does do that. I think all races, all sexes can enjoy sports. However, in things like this that are also sports related, it has made almost it shine a light on those people, which we already know those people from before. We've seen their posts, we've seen their actions, but it's like Mo said, I think
mob mentality when it wasn't integrated in sports, when blacks and other nationalities weren't allowed in sports. It's almost like you're hearing the same type of stuff.
Do these men think that these women or these transgender women are going to come out and try and take their jobs next or try and take their this? I mean, what are you scared? Why is this such a big deal to you?
Then that means you're not overly competitive or competitive in your own nature to not win. I don't understand. I'm just confused.
I don't know. Just whoo. Okay.
The Lakers are winning 39-32 against the 76ers. I don't know if
is Embiid still out?
Though. Embiid's
out. LeBron's out.
LeBron's out on knee soreness. He was standing there talking to 2 Chainz on the court. We saw that.
Okay.
Dwight's in and playing up. It's a home game, so we'll see what we can do.
Speaking of basketball, I thought this was hilarious. I wanted to bring it up. Where did I put it? Oh, yes. I want to call this the Tristan Thompson pill. So apparently, a major breakthrough in contraception pill for males is found to be 99% effective in preventing pregnancy. So for all those Tristan Thompsons out there that can't seem to knock it off, hey, take the pill. You don't got to deal with any more, $40,000 child support issues.
But men are here designed to procreate. They can't take anything that alters their body like that. Is too women-like.
Oh, here we go. Don't start it, Mo. Don't start it.
I'm just saying. I get it.
I mean, there's a lot of men out there that have way too many kids and not enough means to take care of them. They should be taking this pill, especially if you can't strap up.
Especially if you're scared of the vasectomy thing. This probably would be a good alternate route.
I mean,
how often do you have to take it? Do you have to take it every day like women?
I didn't see all of it. I just saw that. I just saw that it was it's a topic that needs to be explored more. I'm sure we'll hear more about it when it comes about.
I'm curious to see how that works.
Yeah. So like literally 2 or 3 days ago, it was announced that Zion wouldn't be playing for the rest of the season, and then today this comes out.
See right there, that right there already makes me nervous with him. That landing was horrible. You know, come on, guys.
You're doing you've been injured all season, and now you're gonna do
and then it's bad
off
landing.
the backboard between the leg dunks.
And basketball just ain't even about dunking. It's about getting out there and play, which you have not this whole entire season because of those type of shenanigans. The only thing that is proven to me showing this video is that he has lost some weight. He is no longer 300 pounds. But his landing on that dunk could have cost him another season. That was terrible landing on the dunk. Terrible.
Well, he's been cleared for one-on-one activity. Maybe he's able to make it, or maybe he's just setting his sights on next season.
I mean, that dunk was horrible. Don't do that in real time, honey. You step on somebody's foot, it's over again for both of you.
Well, I don't know if he'd be doing that in real. I don't know. I can't say. I don't know, but it's good to see that he has a little pep in his step now and actually can maybe focus on ball and work off some of those quarter pounders. As far as my Bulls are going downhill fast, but Lonzo Ball suffered a setback in rehab. Yeah. He isn't able to run in practice or run for 10 days now. This was as of Monday. The Bulls have not been doing so great, but I'm of course would simply still make the play-ins and playoffs, but keeping hope alive. I just hope that Lonzo can come back when it is playoff time because it'll definitely be needed. Dame Lillard's going to be out for the rest of the season. Of course, the Blazers aren't making the playoffs and they're not going to rush anything. But I guess surgery went well for his abdominal surgery. Jamal Crawford, Seattle's own, has retired from basketball at 42. Was he playing this year and just decided to retire, or was he not? I saw it and I was like, was he playing? Like, why did this happen right now?
I didn't even know he was playing, to be quite honest with you. Who's he playing for?
If anybody in the chat knows, I just was like, you're retired. Does that just mean you're not trying to get back in the league?
I don't know. Maybe he finally filled out his paperwork. I hadn't seen him. I didn't even know he was still in the league, to be quite honest with you. That's news to me.
Well, Isaiah Thomas is still in, and he's going to be playing with the Celtics for the rest of the year, so that's good for him.
That's good. And then 10-day contracts and all that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then LeBron passes Karl Malone, the mailman, for number 2 in NBA's all-time scoring list.
Yes.
I mean, he's been playing forever, and he likes to shoot, so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He played against Cleveland and won. He did a monster dunk that landed well. Mm-hmm. Over Kevin Love.
Kevin Love, one of his buddies.
That's how you do a dunk, Zion. Don't ever show that video anytime again. That made me cringe when he landed. I was like, ooh, jeez.
At least he got some strong angles. I don't know.
Man,
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's talk about these NFL stuff. The NFL.
Yeah, because. Oh, hey.
My t-shirt.
Oh, okay. New t-shirt.
Shout out to Raider Image over the weekend at the 60% off clearance sale.
Nice. I bet you there was no Davante Adams jerseys there yet.
Of course, they had a lot of Marshawn Lynch jerseys. If anybody wants to pick up a Marshawn Lynch. They had some, shout out to Beast Mode. They had a couple of Beast Mode pieces here and there. They also had some military jerseys for Josh Jacobs. For the kids, only kid sizes. Oh. They had inaugural pins, which were really cute because they were like lapel pins for every single game. So they had them in like a little box set. And then
you get some for your jacket?
My dad got some, actually. I should have got some for my jacket, but I was like, I don't really like them. They looked, they just looked, I don't know. I probably would have lost them. I'm losing my pins off my jacket right now. Thank you, Kente. My Raiders are definitely legit because we got.
Well, let's start real quick because this is what Stephon Diggs says today. He says, what the hell is going on? Because today was another blockbuster. Like, what just happened?
Right.
Tyreek Hill, Pro Bowler from the Chiefs, goes to the Dolphins on a 4-year, $120 million 4-year deal. So now, first of all, when Davante Adams signed with the Raiders, he was the highest paid wide receiver.
Right.
Well, now Tyreek Hill is the highest paid wide receiver. He matches up with Jalen Waddle. They're going to be like the fastest wide receiver duo.
The cheetah.
What does that mean for Tua, though? Is Tua going to be able to hit the 60-yard pass to Tyreek sprinting down the lane? I mean, it's going to be a test for Tua.
I think he can because, and honestly, I think this was a good move for the cheetah to go down there. He definitely wasn't getting any looks with Kansas City. They went to one Super Bowl appearance and lost. They lost to the Bengals in the AFC Championship. They haven't really effectively used this guy since then. And in the regular season, Tyreek Hill is like a no-show because Pat Mahomes is doing other type of trickery. So let this man live and go down to the Dolphins and get him out of our division because we didn't need that anyway. So,
let the truth be told.
Anyway.
Let
Yes.
the truth be told.
So we're happy anyway. But no, this is a great move for Tyreek Hill.
And to go from Kansas City to Miami, like that's a win right there, just within weather-wise alone.
It's tax-free and the property taxes down there too. He's gonna be fine. He's got a big check and yeah. Stephon Diggs, what the heck going on? You got Jacoby Brissett as your backup quarterback right now. Like you're getting that kind of action. That's what the hell going on.
Shout out to Mike Dixon, our numero uno Miami Dolphins fan out there. I know he's excited for his season. It should be interesting to see how well this goes and how much more effort Tua has in this season. And if he pulls it off, like, I mean, hey.
Godspeed and wish him the best. Let's see what it does.
But your Raiders,
man,
like Kente said,
the best
Raiders are definitely legit.
We are legit. I mean, the Chandler Jones thing was one thing, but Davante, Tay coming here, Tay 17.
That was like your wish. That was like your wish for all year.
That was my wish the whole time. And the guy truly is a Raider. I listened to his press conference yesterday. The kid that grew up in Palo Alto. Whole family is a Raider family. Whole family was not traveling to Green Bay to see him play, truthfully, because it was just too far. His dad is known to going on road travel. And so he likes that it's close to home. That was part of his decision making. He always wanted to be a Raider. His third grade yearbook photo had him in the Seawood jersey, saying he wanted to either be a basketball player or a football player. The kid is a Raider. We are so excited to have this guy. Derek Carr is super excited because he's got his buddy back.
That's his boy.
Fresno State. Mm-hmm. And he said Derek Carr promised him a car if he signed with them. So I'm wondering what kind of car he's going to buy it.
A car on top of the $141 million he gets.
A car. Yeah.
You guys also signed Chiefs wide receiver Demarcus Robinson to a year deal.
Yes, we did. We'll take that.
You guys are stacking up.
So we're stacking up. So our defensive line and offense, there should be no excuses for Derek Carr and the Raider Nation.
There can't be any excuses. So here's the deal. You guys have no excuse.
We have no excuses. We have zero excuses. Zero. I mean,
especially with changes happening in Kansas City where there's been movement made. The AFC West is getting players, but also losing some players.
Right. There should be no excuse. There really should not be. But my football God prayers have been answered. I told you it was rumored he had bought a house in the Ridges. We weren't sure if that was true. The week before, and then a week after, he announces that he's here. His wife is currently pregnant, so he was like, I was consulting her most of the time on this decision. My family on the Bay Area side, I was consulting them with the decision. Now they have the opportunity to see games. He was like, his grandmother was not able to travel to Green Bay to see him play. Now she has the opportunity to come out there.
Granny coming to the Owl.
Vegas. Yes, coming to the Owl to see him play. So it's an exciting thing. It's what a time to be a Raider. Finally, long overdue. We felt this way with Randy Moss, but we felt in our hearts that Randy Moss was not a true Raider. He ditched us for the Patriots because we weren't setting them up for success on that end. This guy is now set up for success. I mean, the biggest move was to get rid of Mike Mayock. Because had we had Mayock still, we would have never had this
none of these
whole
moves,
thing. None of these moves would have never came through. Never. None of them. And to have Josh McDaniels as their head coach, I mean, I'm excited. I can't wait for the season.
Well, let's see what Derek Carr does.
Either. And I can't wait
fantasy football is going to be insane. Yeah, first of all, I'm going to need like a whole month just to study because I won't even remember come, July, August, where all these people are at by then. It's going to be crazy. I mean,
it is. I honestly was thinking, okay, I got to draft Cooper Kupp. I got to draft this. I'm going for my juggernauts. I've got to put my list together. I wasn't even going to participate in I was going to take a break from the fantasy. But with this going on, all these moves,
come on.
I got to play.
Yeah. And of course, we know there's going to be those people that probably haven't been keeping up with sports throughout the last few months. And they're just going to start drafting, realizing they're drafting the people that are in the wrong places and vice versa. And we're going to see a lot of, so we also have Deshaun Watson getting traded to the Browns. That's going to be big. Odell's even saying he'd go back now that there's a quarterback at home.
And I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Jacoby Brissett is signed with the Browns as a backup quarterback.
Oh.
and Case Keenum got an offer to go over to Buffalo. Case Keenum is the backup over at Buffalo Land. And where's Baker gonna go?
Maybe he can be too. Here's the deal. Baker's going to have to just bite his tongue and be a backup somewhere. There's no more starting jobs, really. Although I've heard about Seattle, but we don't need Baker. I mean, at this point, it's like, rather to have Geno start for a few games than Baker at this point. Like,
and
we don't need
shopping him, talking about we'll take him. But see, Cleveland's not going to let him go without a first round draft pick. He's stuck right now.
Come on. They're going to release him.
They're going to release him. He'll go free agent, but still. They're not giving him up on a trade unless it is going to be a first rounder in that mix.
Right.
His trade value is not worth a first rounder. So no other franchise is speaking up on taking this man except Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh's not offering anything. They're just saying, hey, we'll take him. And Pittsburgh, according to Edith, shout out to Edith, she don't want him.
Yeah.
So Steelers Nation really don't want him.
Our
either.
resident Steeler fan. Yeah.
She don't want him. So, I mean, I don't know. It was everything that I thought and more with him. He did not live up to the expectation. You had OBJ on your line and you did nothing with him. You are not the quarterback. I told you I never liked Baker Mayfield, and this is the reason. Now
there's going to be a big halt on Baker Mayfield commercials after 2022. Back on the Watson thing, though, real quick, I wanted to mention, shout out to Natasha Gransberry, because she had posted that part of Deshaun Watson's deal of that $230 million is that his first year's salary is $1 million, because should he have to forego some of his earnings for that season due to the civil charges, he ain't losing much. Smart on his agents, smart on his attorneys. That was genius.
It is genius. And he still got a big payday coming to him after that.
Still. Yeah, very much so.
And Deshaun Watson is far a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. I don't care what nobody say.
Listen, the Browns are going to be loving it. Just like, they were loving Braun getting them a championship. They're going to enjoy this Watson deal and having a different guy at the helm again. I mean, the Browns are used to seeing a quarterback every year, if not every couple years, if not 5 times in 1 year. So it's nothing new for them. And hopefully this is something good for Deshaun. Yeah. Juju Smith-Schuster gets headed to the Chiefs. Yeah. Probably one of the other reasons why Tyreek Hill is on his way out.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan to the Colts. Your guy, Marcus Mariota, over to the Falcons, because Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, is going to be freezing up there in Indianapolis from now on. Interesting to see what Marcus Mariota does for the Falcons. They've been stuck in a rut for a few years now.
I think he'll do really
good. I think it'll be great.
I think it will be great for them. He's got a great run game. I wish the Raiders could have utilized him more. When they did in trick plays, which were very
I would have minded having him with Seattle.
I had no issue with Mariota,
Yeah.
So I think he'll do great. It's about time. I think the Falcons were kind of the laughing stock down there in the NFC South a little bit. And I think this time it can kind of be redeemed, that they can be better. So listen.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Jameis stays with New Orleans, which I think is good for him. Good. He got a 2-year deal.
That's good.
There's been speculation that possibly Kaepernick is working to try and meet with Pete Carroll and John Schneider to have a workout with Seattle Seahawks. It hasn't been confirmed, but he said he's been in talks. Nothing has been discussed, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Seattle's also trying to work on a DK Metcalf extension before the season ends, because, of course, this is the last year of his rookie contract. So they're trying to get something in place, which I think will be a little hard unless you're paying him major money, because he doesn't have a quarterback that he trusts right now.
Money for him to stay. Yeah, for real.
Yeah. And we did also re-sign Rashard Penny, our running back. Yeah. So hopefully no injury this year. He could have, the full season that we have expected from him since he was signed off his rookie deal, but we shall see. I'm still a little surprised. So you guys know my guy, Bobby Wagner, B-Wags.
The last of the Legion of Boom.
The last Legion of Boom. I said 2 things, and maybe my football gods weren't listening correctly, but I don't want him on the Niners, the Cowboys, but there is word that he met with the Rams today. And although I don't hate the Rams, I also need to see my team go against Bobby twice a year. It's going to be the same thing as seeing Richard Sherman, although Bobby I love way more than Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
Because Richard Sherman, of course, left us and went to the Niners. But
yeah, but I feel like the Niners are more of a nemesis team to you than the Rams, even though you guys were in that same division.
I like the Rams. I don't hate them. Especially the Rams, I think I enjoy them. And if they were to make it to their Super Bowl, hey, I'm rocking my Bobby Wagner Seahawks jersey for them. But do you have to go into the NFC West?
Yeah,
That's
it'd
what
been
we
nice if
gotta
we had done
do.
a whole nother different division, but it is what it is, or a different
Yeah,
conference.
Yeah. Shout out to Kente. I guess Seahawks also
Yeah.
signed Justin Coleman, the cornerback. I think he was a Falcon. I forget.
Yeah.
Shoot. But yeah, Leonard Fournette also returns the Bucks. How do you
Right.
not
Of
return
course
the
you.
Bucks?
Yes, Tom Brady's calling. You pick up the phone.
I mean, we're gonna hear about Gronk here soon too. I mean,
he's
the
coming
group, the
back.
gang's back together. Come on,
He's coming back. The boys are back in town. They're coming back.
the boys are back in town.
Yeah, like 48 hours for that music. Yeah, you already know. Oh shoot.
Speaking of back, baseball is back. Spring training kicked off this
Yes.
past weekend. I know our Mariners and Dodgers played a game. I know we won.
Yes,
Of course,
you
it's just
did.
preseason.
It
Of course,
is.
then we got
That's
killed
okay.
in that next game. But
Yeah, because Freddie Freeman came up at bat.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I'm excited. Baseball's back. I know for
Yeah.
Seattle, our home opener, I think, is the 14th. I wouldn't mind going home to see that game. But hey, it's all good. But what's interesting is that this year, the free agent frenzy has been $3.265 billion.
Billion. Wow.
So after a 99-day lockout, this has been the most lucrative offseason in baseball history. So just to compare, the previous record for most lucrative seasons in Major League Baseball was 2016. It was $2.4 billion. Okay. This year, 3.26. That's like almost an entire billion more.
That's nasty.
Of course, the Rangers went crazy. Yeah, your Dodgers went crazy. The Mets went crazy. Tigers, everybody.
We had to. Our lineup looks so crazy. And shout out to Kenley Jansen. Farewell, Kenley. Kenley has moved on. We no longer have Kenley Jansen as our closing pitcher. And I think that's going to be the issue with the Dodgers, is not having a pitching bullpen so much as we do for our other bullpen of players out there defensively on the field and our hitters. But Kenley Jansen was known to be one of our closers. He has, after being with the franchise for so many years, started with the Dodgers. Being with the Dodgers, he is moving on. I think he is with the Braves now. So that might have been that whole Freddie Freeman situation. But yeah, Kenley, I'm just going to miss you, but it's okay because you made me nervous. I'm kind of glad you're not. I need you to bring that nervousness over to Atlanta and let them deal with that. But
so they've also made a new rule. The new Ohtani rule. Basically, it's for the universal designated hitter. So starting pitchers who are in the lineup can stay in the lineup as a designated hitter even after they're done pitching.
Right.
So they're able to promote more two-way players like Ohtani for the Angels. So
that's good.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. Good. Let's see what it does. I saw that. That's great.
What's up, Arlington? Yeah, closers or Diamond Dozen? I think it depends on the closer.
It depends, man. Listen, closers are a dime a dozen. I think for the Dodgers, we have good closers. We didn't. I mean, Kenley.
But if you got a good one that you can count on every time to close.
No, Kenley made me nervous. I tweeted tight off shoot. Here comes Kenley. We don't know what we're gonna get. And then sometimes he's clutching, sometimes he's not. I don't need that nervousness in my life. I'm just saluting the guy for being who he was. He'll always be a Dodger to me, but it's time for him to move on. I wasn't really saddened by that news, I guess I should say.
Right.
Yeah.
I was a little sad though about Marc-Andre Fleury is now no longer a Blackhawk.
Yeah, he's wild now.
Traded to the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, the guy is on a retirement tour.
I know. I just have him come back here because we clearly needed a good backup when Leonard was out. And that was a little detrimental. I mean, the Vegas Golden Knights, they've been on a slump as well too. So,
prayers to you too, Arlington. You're in my prayers and thoughts and everything.
Arlington, we love you.
We love you. Thank you for chat typing in. Yeah, he's on a retirement tour. Probably gonna play a few other little teams until he says I'm out.
But I think the Wild are doing fairly good. Like he has another contender. He can maybe win another chip out there before his time is up.
And then he pieces out. That's basically his mission. I said, I see what this guy is doing.
I just wonder, does his family stay in Chicago now? Because why keep moving the kids? Like at some point, do you just stop?
I wonder where the kids. I don't know. How does that work?
I don't know.
How does that work?
It's
packing up and moving.
Moving
is hard. It's stupid, and I hate it.
Oh man,
no one likes to move. It is intense.
No.
It's stressful. It's all of that.
I didn't even have it on here, but March Madness has already been intense. and crazy. Listen, shout out to my boy Tarek and also to my boy, also to Kenny. I got to go to Caesar's VIP March Madness party on Friday. Then we went to the Cosmos VIP party on Saturday. These games have just been ridiculous. There is no bracket left. There is no perfect bracket. And that probably took place like halfway through the second.
It all started with St. Peter's and then it went down.
St. Peter's, listen.
Went all the way down to St.
Cinderella
Peter's.
story.
Yeah. I think the Cinderella, I mean, Baylor's out, so that made me happy. I didn't think Baylor was going to win anyway. I still have Gonzaga and Villanova. I'm still rolling with that. That dead doggone Drew Time looks like he's 30 out there. I don't see why he can't.
Gonzaga, man, they've got it going
how he can't win a championship this go round. There's no Baylor you have to compete with. Probably just Villanova. That's what I got in my final two. But my bracket is completely busted. I did know UCLA was going to the Sweet 16. I did advance them to that. Few of my teams were good as far as Sweet 16 picks. That St. Peter's is what just a rippling effect just killed me. Them and I think it was another bust I had that was pretty bad. I've got 3 brackets right now, and I just I'm not.
Yeah, my brackets were already bad after that first round, and then second round really
first round I was good, and the second round it really got me too. And shout out to the Lady Rebels, shout out to them. Shout out to Lindsay LaRock. I mean, girls, you did the best you could do. The 2 Thompson sisters were playing each other head to head. Arizona's just that school. And I don't know what happened because you guys were running with them all the way up until the end of the third quarter. It was the top of the fourth, and gas just ran out. Then it didn't help when Lindsay got a tech and all of that. It just went down. But I still give you guys props.
But to get in there and to be in the dance,
and to be in the dance, we hadn't
and to represent UNLV. There has been nobody from UNLV being able to be representing for the school. I mean,
that's since 2010, I believe it was the last time for the ladies. So I thank you, ladies. Thank you. I salute you guys.
I also wanted to show this, of course, the black head coaches and coaches for women's that have been in March Madness. You've got the black head coaches. They're now in the Sweet 16. If you saw Juwan Howard, he had a really good win. He had an emotional time. He was hugging with Chris Webber. He actually hugged one of the players on the opposing team, which was really sweet. That was a really good moment.
That player, and that player played with his son. They grew up together. So he had to.
And the St. Peter's coach, I mean, he's doing one crazy job. They said that they had nobody on that team that was on the what is it, that ranked list, the top high school players.
Well, Shaheen Holloway, he played for, was it Purdue or something like that? That was like a big time school. Yeah. So to see him.
And shout out to the ladies. Listen, I don't know if you were watching South Carolina, but that first round they had, the opponent had 2 points, I think, in the entire first quarter. I think they scored 21 the entire game.
Shout out to my sisters. Yeah. I didn't want UNC to go. I was kind of not. They wasn't on my list. I don't even know why his picture's even up on there. But that's not here nor there. I don't know why he up even in the conversation. But
all right, so for girl power, I wanted to let you know about Lauren Jensen. Lauren plays for Creighton, but she left Iowa last year after playing with them. Her time was diminishing with them, so she decided to transfer over to Creighton. Of course, she's given her team its first Sweet 16 berth while beating her previous team of Iowa. She also scored 9 of the last 10 points for her new team, including the 3-pointer that sealed the deal and sent Iowa packing. So if you know it, you good, and your time is not being made available for you to be playing, you can switch your team and go out and beat your opposer. So this girl power in a major way for her.
Yes, definitely.
Amen.
That's what's up.
Let me get some sneakers through here, and then we can go because we had a long discussion today.
Took too much time.
It was a lot.
Too much time and energy. It's like giving birth for real.
Like, I'm tired. I need a drink. I need a real drink.
Yeah. Like
all right. So if you buy these shoes, please don't ever look at me in person. Yeezy 450s, the Cinder.
I'm not tomorrow. A fan of 350s. I'm not a fan of 450s. I'm not a fan. The only ones I probably could look that looks like an actual sneaker to me is the 750s. That's the only ones.
I can't look at Yeezys, period. But
I mean,
These
each
are
their own in
interesting.
fashion. I feel it.
These are the
I'm not a
Power
fan.
Ranger by Reebok Insta Pump Fury. They're Rita Repulsa. These come out tomorrow. I just saw these and was like, wait, what?
They look like Fendi's. I love how all the sneakers are trying to
The
look
fur,
designerish.
the camel color.
Yeah, it kind of look like the
I don't know.
Fendi's.
I don't know. We've mentioned this before. I'll mention it again because they come out on Friday. The Jordan 3 retros, the muslins, or they come out, Friday. And then the Jordan 5 retros, the Jades, come out on Friday.
Oh yeah, I like those.
Those are nice. The 7s retro SC, the
Yeah, those are dope.
Sapphires, come out on the 30th. And I don't have a picture of all 3 of them, but the Nike has 3 shoes coming out for basically Halloween in April.
Yeah.
These are the Halloween Dunk Lows, and they'll be out on 4/1. And then there was one, these. The Air Force One Flax comes out on the 1st. Interesting.
Flax.
The flax.
Flaxseed oil.
There'll be a lot of old men.
Dunks are heavy too.
Those things look heavy.
They are heavy.
Look super heavy.
Weapon.
Oh Lord.
Every time I try to take my shoe off to somebody, I should know it's gonna be pain because that shoe is heavy as heck to hit across somebody's head. Not that I'm trying to choose violence today. I'm just saying I have to protect myself. That shoe is very heavy. The Jordans are heavy.
She's not choosing violence today.
I'm not trying to choose violence. I'm just saying if you're too close in my space and try to do something, I quick to take off.
You're coming at me, and
coming at me. Hey, it's better than a weapon, right?
Right. All right. Again, for our Las Vegas community, if you know anything about Mr. Tyrone Moore and his death, he was killed in a hit and run out near Laughlin on State Route 163. There's been nothing in regards to information that can lead to the person who hit and killed him. He's a father of 2 boys. He's from Seaside, California. If you know anything, if you've seen him, or if you're friends with him, or if you know where he was or why he was out there walking around on the on the interstate, please reach out to Justice for Ty, JUSTICE FORTYTY at yahoo.com. You can also share our post that we posted on Instagram and Girl Chat Sports on our Girl Chat Sports page. Please help if you have any answers, and you can help the family figure out what happened to him.
Yes. And prayers to the family. And I pray that, something comes about of this.
Some kind of answers.
I hope outlets need to be all hands on deck with this, sharing this story, because it's just unreal and just there's a lot of holes to this story, and it just the family wants answers.
When I literally Googled the story, it was only a report of the actual accident that occurred. There was nothing since.
It's very gray, and there's a lot of holes in the story. I understand the family wanting.
There's a lot more that's got to be happening there. Definitely. Well, you guys, we appreciate you tuning in today. Of course, we know we're a little bit. We appreciate you. Hopefully you have a great rest of your week and a great weekend for those in Las Vegas. It's about to be 90 this weekend, so pool season's back. Let me get my tan back.
At least for the weekend.
For the weekend, then it cools out. I won't be here, so I'm gonna miss the 90s, but it's okay because
don't worry, it's coming.
Listen, I don't need it anytime soon. I'm good. I'm good with the 70s. So we wish everybody a great week. Be blessed, and please make sure you check us out next Wednesday, same time, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share on all social media. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you.